Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. So today I'm going to be ranking all of Gillian Flynn's books. I will give you a little synopsis, brief thoughts of what I thought about.
Brief thoughts of what I thought about?
Brief thoughts about the book and my rating, and then at the end I will rank them all from my least favorite to my most favorite. And this is gonna be a really close race today, guys, because I love all of Gillian Flynn's books. I think she is such a talented thriller author. Her writing style is everything that I want in a thriller, to be honest. I really can't find any flaws with her books, so this is gonna be difficult. Also, before we get into it, I just wanted to mention that I do have a bunch of these videos. I will link the playlist below. I have done this style video for a ton of thriller authors, including Riley Sager, Megan Miranda, Sherry Lapina, Lisa Jewell, and Ruth Ware. So if you're interested in watching those videos, I will link that playlist and those videos everywhere. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on Gillian Flynn's books. So it would be a crime not to start with Gone Girl. So Gone Girl is the book that got me into thrillers, that turned me into the thriller queen that I am. I absolutely love this book. I don't think any thriller can top it ever. The twist in the middle of this book, I never would have guessed. I don't think anyone could guess that twist ever. Like, it still holds up. Not only was this groundbreaking for its time, but now I want to reread this so bad. I feel like even knowing the twist, I would enjoy every page because Gillian Flynn's writing is just chef's kiss phenomenal. I actually, so I read this book when I was really young. I think I was like in 8th grade, and I was doing a lot of theater back then. There's a monologue about halfway through called the Cool Girl monologue.
She's a cool girl. Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is game. Cool girl is fun.
If you know about that, you know. And I actually did that monologue for an audition. And didn't get the part, but you know, it was a fun time. By the way, if you don't know what this book is about, I'm just assuming everybody knows what this book is about. Basically, there's this golden couple. It's about to be their 5-year wedding anniversary. Everything seems like it's going super well, except for one day, Amy, the wife, goes missing. Nick, her husband, returns home from work and just finds the house disheveled, and Amy is nowhere to be found. The police assume that either she's dead and he killed her or she's been kidnapped, but they really are pretty sure that he killed her, and it's just about finding out how he did that, if he did that, because he does look really suspicious. Or are we just pinning it on him because us and the police don't want to look into anyone else because it's inconvenient? And while we're reading chapters from Nick's point of view in present day, we're also getting chapters out of Amy's diary. So we're finding out that things were not as happy and perfect as they seemed behind closed doors. Maybe there was some abuse, deceit, cheating, other things like that going on. This book is crazy. It's the ultimate thriller. If you read any recommendation from me, read this book. 5 stars. Do I even have to say that? Duh, 5 stars. Now let's talk about Dark Places. So this book follows a girl who, her entire family was murdered when she was young, and her brother was actually found guilty for the crime. Now we don't know if that actually happened, but that is what the whole world believes. So he's really demonized in the eyes of
Everyone.
And she won this huge lawsuit against him.
Give me your fucking money!
Obviously, she's like being supported for her entire life because she was so young and her family was dead. So she has all this money that she's living off of. She's kind of just chilling, drinking, not working, living off this money. And her insurance dude calls her one day and he's like, hey girl, by the way, all your money's about to run out. So she's like, fuck, I have to go reconnect with my family that is still alive, see what the hell is going on. What am I gonna do with my life? Don't know. So she starts digging in into the past while she's reconnecting with her family to try to get some money to live. And she's finding out that maybe her brother isn't as guilty as the world was trying to get her to believe at such a young age. Oh, also a big part of this book is that she was the one who testified against him during the trial, and now she's kind of thinking that she didn't really know what was going on as a child, and maybe she was coerced into saying that she witnessed her brother commit these crimes. So it's a lot of convoluted family drama. It's extremely twisty. Oh my God, the end of this book shook me to my core. Also, the movie adaptation of this book and of Gone Girl, they're both phenomenal. I haven't seen the one for the next book, but movie adaptations are pretty solid for Gillian Flynn books. I ended up giving Dark Places 4.5 stars out of 5. So yeah, I don't know why I did that at the time. I don't know why I didn't just give it a 5. Maybe I'll have to reread it. I have read these books a long time ago, but they are still so vivid in my mind because I love them so much. So now let's talk about Sharp Objects. This follows our main character who just got out of a mental hold in a hospital, and she is a reporter, and she decides when she gets out that she's gonna be a little journalist queen and go report on these 2 missing girls that went missing from her hometown. Seems like she's the perfect person to do this because she's from that town. She's gonna go live there and stay with her mother and her stepsister, but that environment is really, really triggering for her. She does self-harm. There's a lot of trigger warnings for this book, so if that bothers you, definitely look into that. Her mother and sister is just not a great environment for her to be in. She's extremely triggered, and she starts really identifying with these missing girls, with these victims. She's not only trying to unravel the mystery of what happened to these girls, but also unravel her mind and kind of her psyche. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars because I think the mystery was really well done, but I don't know about the mental health rep in this book. It really portrays people who do struggle with self-harm or suicidal ideation in a very extreme sense. Yes, there are people who struggle with that who stay in the hospital and have to have those kind of holds so they don't harm themselves, but that's not the majority of people that deal with these problems. I see a majority of my clients do have these struggles, but if I was to recommend a hold for them, it would be very extreme. And I think the average reader of this book maybe wouldn't understand that that's not how all people who have suicidal ideation are. They're not staying in mental hospitals, right? They're not going crazy, drinking themselves into a stupor and harming themselves every day. So I don't know. It's kind of sketchy with the mental health rep for me, just because I am a therapist and I feel like there is still such a stigma around mental health, and when it's portrayed in media as such an extreme way, instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'm a normal girl, I have my problems, whatever, I also self-harm, and it's something that I'm seeing a therapist for and trying to work on because of my past trauma. You know, when it's not very casual like that, when it's the center of the story, it bothers me a little bit. So I did give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, even though it is a phenomenal book. That was just the piece that got me a little bit flustered. And finally, I have Gillian Flynn's novella here. This is only 70 pages long, I think. Yeah, it's literally 70 pages long. It is called The Grown Up, and it follows this lady who gives hand jobs. That is her job.
Hey, Queen. Girl, you have done it again. Constantly raising the bar for us all and doing it flawlessly. I'd say I'm surprised, but I know who you are. I've seen it up close and personal. Girl, you make me so proud, and I love you.
She sits in the back of a psychic shop and gives hand jobs for money. That's how she makes her living. And she ends up getting like carpal tunnel in her hands from giving so many hand jobs. So she ends up moving to the front of the psychic store and pretending to be a clairvoyant. And one day this bougie little lady comes in. She's like a suburban mom, and she starts talking to our main character about all the weird, spooky, haunting things that are happening in her house. house, and the psychic is like,
okay, I'm not really a psychic, so I don't really know how to do that, but I bet this suburban lady is gonna pay me thousands of dollars to go sage and clear and bless her house, so I'm gonna go along with it.
Down with communism.
and it all devolves from there. This book is insane. If you like crazy, gritty, spooky horror, then I think you would love this. There are also those telltale Gillian Flynn style twists, and her writing style just really sings in this book. It's so dark, but also so comedic and dry at the same time. I don't know how she does it, but I'm absolutely in love with it. I gave this one 5 stars. So now that you know all about Gillian Flynn's books, let's go ahead and do my definitive ranking. Ugh, this is so hard because I love all these books so much. I think I'm gonna have to rank Sharp Objects as my least favorite, then Dark Places. Now I'm in between my 2 favorites. Literally, these are 2 of my favorite books of all time. I think I'm gonna have to say The Grown Up and then Gone Girl, because this is the book that introduced me to thrillers at such a young age and turned me into the thriller queen that I am now. I'm putting Gone Girl at the top.
And I'm at peace with that.
It's a classic. How could I not put it at the top? I feel like y'all would be mad at me if I didn't. So that is my definitive ranking of all of Gillian Flynn's novels. And yeah, don't forget to check out that playlist of all the other videos I have in this series. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.